Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Tia and I am hoping to be your new book bestie. I've just moved you down ever so slightly. I've got my PJs on because we're getting comfy to do the mid-year book freak out. I've got a drink here, Dr. Pepper Zero as always, so grab a drink, grab a snack and let's get cozy and get right into it. So with it being the mid-year, we are now, well, past the mid-year now, I thought it would be good to do this tag. Obviously it's my first time doing it, so I thought it would be good to go through and see what like books we've read and sort of have a little review of what we've done so far, and hopefully the next 6 months are going to be even better book wise, quality over quantity. So I have read, I've got my laptop here, so I've got the questions and I've got my stats. So this year so far, it is July the 10th, I have read 105 books so far, which I feel like is really, really good for me. I started mid-January, so I didn't actually start at the beginning of the year. I think it was like January 14th, 15th, I think I started. I've read 40,178 pages, which is insane. I'm also 50% through books, so there's obviously a bit more that I've read there. But let's get into the tag. So, best book you've read so far. This is a really hard one, guys. Like, I feel like it flips and changes all the time, because when I read Powerless, it was like the best thing I'd ever read. Then I read Fourth Wing and that trumped it by a mile. And then I read Twisted Lies, which I absolutely loved as well. And then Phantasma came along and I thought, oh my god, this is the best book. But then Enchantra blew my fucking socks off. But I don't know, obviously ACOTAR as well. I think if I was going through overall, the one that made me feel the most, I would say, is probably Fourth Wing. Like, I feel like that just, the world building was so imaginative, and also it just made me feel so many emotions and felt so connected to the characters as well. Also, I've got little dragon earrings in, so it makes sense. Manifest them. Best sequel you've read so far. Okay, I think it's top two. I'd say like Iron Flame was very, very good, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Enchantra, because although it's not, would you cast it as a sequel because it's technically the second book, but they're like interconnected. But I suppose you kind of have to read book one to understand people in book two and what happens. But the world building in Enchantra was amazing, and Rowan is just absolutely God's gift. I spoke about this in my June reading wrap up, and I put a picture out of him, and he's just got like a lip piercing. He is just everything you want in a man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I loved him, and like I said, like it really, especially like in Phantasma as well, but it felt like you were there in the game with them, which I love from a book. Like my heart was pounding. I just really, really felt for them. New release you haven't read but want to. Okay, so I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with Rewind It Back, because let me hear me out. Like, I've not read any of the Windy City series yet, but I've heard everybody raving about this, like everybody and their best friend raving about this series, and especially this last book. So I cannot wait to get to that, to actually read it. If we're talking about like a first book, then probably Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent. I've recently started into Rena Kent's world, or universe if you want to call it, and I've heard this is like a dark romance hockey type of thing, so I'm excited about that because I love me a hockey romance, I love me a dark romance, so I can't wait to get into that. Most anticipated release for the second half of 2025. Okay, do you know what, when these questions go through my head, my mind actually goes blank. I probably should have prepared the questions better, but I'm winging it. I'm winging life, so why not wing the tag? Do you know what I mean? But probably, I don't know what the second book is called because it's not, I don't think it's been announced a name yet, but I read Whisper Pretty Lies. I'm gonna put it up here, and this was actually an arc that I got. This is a why choose, bully, stepbrother, dark romance. That's what I'm gonna call it. And this was one of my top reads. Like, I absolutely ate this up. So the second book is out on Halloween and I cannot wait to read that. Like, that is one of my most anticipated releases for the rest of the year. Also, I can't wait for Brimstone by Callie Hart. I know it's the second book in the series. I've not read Quicksilver yet at this point, but I am excited for that book because I know that when I read Quicksilver, it is going to be top tier. So I know that I'm going to be wanting to eat up that second book ASAP. Biggest disappointment. Okay, let me think. Do you know what? I've got two. Right, so the first one is The Striker by Anna Huang. I love the Twisted series, like absolutely fucking devoured those. So when I read that, this book is like chunky. It's a sports romance. It's set in Britain, this one. And as a fellow Brit, the Britishness just felt fake, like a bit forced. It just wasn't believable. The book was way longer than it needed to be. Like, it could have been half that size. And if it had been shorter, I think it would have been a good read. But because it was so long, I was just bored. So it was a bit disappointing. And also, If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. Everybody on TikTok or BookTok said that this was so good. Like, everybody loved it. I hated that. Like, I wish I DNF'd that. The only reason I didn't was because A, I had the second book. B, I had the physical copy of the book, so I had to read it. And C, I'm also like debating whether to get the special edition because it's so pretty, but I hate the book, so that's why I haven't. But it was, the FMC was just, I know she was like, I think she was from like 15 to like 20 throughout the years, but she never grew up. Like, she was really childish, really delusional. Yeah, I didn't like it, and she was just bugging me the whole time. And then when I finally got into the story, it just, everything was ripped away. Everything I knew was ripped away, basically. Like, if you know, you know, but it just, yeah, I don't like that book. Sorry, shoot me. Biggest surprise. Okay, Zodiac Academy. I'm only halfway through this book, guys, the first one. But this has probably been my biggest surprise because I thought it was going to be so hyped up. I thought, there's no way this book is good. Like, my friend Gemma has been begging me to read this for the first half of the fucking year, and I was like, it's a really big world, and I was thinking, it's so hyped up, like I feel like I'm not gonna like it. Like, I feel like it's one of those books that it's so overhyped that when you finally get to read it, you're like, yeah, that's not really hitting the spot. But I'm halfway through and I'm fucking eating it up. Like, this has me giggling to fuck. I am on the edge of my seat, wanting to know what happens. The FMCs are absolutely gorgeous, stunning. I really relate to them in their own ways, but I really do love Darcy at this point. The MMCs are absolutely gorgeous. They are so funny, and I'm really, really enjoying this world so far. New favourite author, okay. Elsie Silver. I feel like that's a given. Like, a cowboy romance, she just does it right. Like, I've read all of Gold Rush Ranch series, and I'm a little bit through Chestnut Springs, but she just does it right every time. I feel like every book she's going to put out is just going to hit, especially if it's a cowboy romance. It just bloody hits every time, and I've enjoyed every single book so far, so I'm adding that as a plus. I think every book has been either a 4 or a 5 star, I believe. Newest fictional crush. Okay, because it's the newest, I mean, I've not finished the book yet, but Darius and Professor Orion. But if we're talking about books that I have finished, Rhett Eaton from Flawless, Chestnut Springs, Elsie Silver. He is grumpy but a gentleman with a filthy mouth. I ate that up. Books that made you cry. Okay, so basically Fourth Wing, Onyx Storm, Iron Flame all made me absolutely sob my heart out. Powerful, Powerless and Powerful. Powerless made me like a little cry. Powerful made me fucking sob. I'd say Powerful and Iron Flame were probably the ones that have made me sob the most, and then I've had a few where I've got a bit teary. So I love a book that can make me cry, though, like something that can make me feel so much that I would actually cry or laugh out loud or show an emotion out loud. I just love those type of books. It just shows it makes you feel something. Books that made you happy. Okay, I'm gonna say The Fake Date Agreement. This was an arc I read, and this was my first ever Why Choose, and I absolutely loved it. And it was just done so right. Like, it made me so happy because the guys were just so attentive, and their main priority was the FMC, and I just loved that. Favourite book to movie adaptation you've seen so far this year? I've not actually seen any this year. Like, I've not watched any, so I feel like I can't comment. Like, I'm excited for a lot. I know that like Fourth Wing's rumoured to get some. I think like the L. Kennedy series, one of the hockey series, rumoured to get some. There's literally so many that I'm excited for, but I've not watched any yet, so I feel like I can't really comment, and I can't comment on previous ones because I've not watched it yet. Most beautiful book you've bought this week. I'm going to put a picture here actually because I've packed these away for ready for when we move. It has to be the Hunger Games series. I bought these special editions in Waterstones and they are stunning. I'm just waiting for Sunrise of the Reaping had just come out, which is why I think I did the special editions, but I'm just waiting for that to come out, a special edition, hopefully this year or next year, so I can add it to the collection. I'm going to be really sad if they don't do a special edition of it, but yeah. And finally, what books do you really need to read by the end of the year? Oh, okay, there's literally so many. I have, my TBR is like almost 900 on my Goodreads, so there's literally so many. The ones that I need to read soon, I feel like a Quicksilver, because I feel like everyone's read that apart from me, so I need to read that. Also Binding 13, like I have really been putting that off, and I really need to read that, so that one is definitely hopefully going to be read soon. That is all for the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and BookTok, which is tias_book_corner, for more chaos, because you know your girl's winging life, she's winging what she's doing here, and yeah, we're all just a little bit chaotic, so join in on the fun. See you next time.